Hey guys, how's it going? So for this video, I wanted to take an in-depth look at the extremely dark and tragic plot surrounding the death of Werner Ziegler that took place during the season 4 finale of Better Call Saul, specifically in regards to how Werner's misguided emotional impulses and extremely irrational decision making seem to be the ultimate cause of his demise. Okay, so the plot surrounding the death of Werner during the season 4 finale of Better Call Saul seemed to present us with a clear-cut example of someone who fell victim to irrationally giving in to his emotional impulses rather than carefully examining the exact nature of his circumstances and then acting accordingly. Specifically, in regards to the case of Werner at the end of season 4, it seems that his ill-advised decision to act on his emotional desires, in spite of the potential consequences that could occur in doing so, resulted in setting in motion a direct chain of events that would in the end lead to his death. So with this premise regarding the downfall of Werner being taken into consideration, we must first examine the question of what exactly caused Werner to act on his emotions, which resulted in the dire predicament that he found himself trapped in at the end of season 4. So with this question in mind, if we take a look at the events immediately prior to the death of Werner in the season 4 finale, it appears that Werner's extremely strong emotional desire to see his wife, following the longest amount of time that he had ever spent without seeing her, that he articulated to Mike in the episode entitled Wiedersehen, was the motivating factor that drove his ill-fated decision-making. However, as we all know, while Werner was clearly consumed with this impulsive and emotional desire to see his wife, the stringent nature of the circumstances surrounding his employment for Gus Fring, which Mike reinforced to him, made it impossible for him to act on this yearning without dire consequences. Furthermore, on top of all of this, following Mike delineating this information to Werner, Mike would then go on to also remind him that once his obligations to Gus Fring were concluded, that he would have the rest of his life to spend with his wife, in addition to the large financial compensation that he would receive by means of his employment as well. However, even in spite of how rational Mike's recommendations to Werner seemed to be at the time, on top of the fact that Mike even went to the great lengths of providing Werner with some sort of compromise that allowed him to speak with his wife on the phone for as long as he wanted, Werner would nonetheless still in the end make the ill-advised and emotionally irrational decision to disobey Mike's orders, veiled as a recommendation, when he made the decision to escape from the warehouse and orchestrate a plan to see his wife, which would in the end paradoxically lead to the exact opposite of his intentions and would cement the certainty that he would never see his wife again. So after taking all of these details regarding Werner's demise at the end of season 4 into consideration, the question still remains of why exactly did Werner decide to enact this ill-considered, reckless, and counterproductive plan in spite of Mike's indication that doing so would result in dire consequences. So with this question being taken into consideration, in my opinion, I think that while Werner was clearly in many ways a very intelligent man, his seemingly childlike naivete in regards to the extremely dangerous nature of the people who he chose to do business with, who as we all know are more than willing to kill to protect their own interests, and would not just overlook him leaving the warehouse as a trivial transgression, in conjunction with Werner blindly acting on his burning emotional impulse of wanting to see his wife, without truly thinking through all the potential consequences of this action, was clearly the lethal combination that led to his downfall. Of course, while this interpretation is just only one possible explanation for Werner's actions, and at the end of the day, we really cannot know for certain just how much of a psychological toll the lack of seeing his wife was internally consuming him when he decided to make the ill-fated decision to leave the warehouse, what I think we can know for certain is that Werner's story in season 4 was truly one of the darkest storylines to ever take place in the plot of Better Call Saul, and truly exemplifies the enormous power and potential danger of human emotions. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video and also want to see additional videos where I discuss and analyze the plot of Better Call Saul, then definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos leading up to the premiere of Season 5. As always, my name is Anton Jackson. Thanks again for watching.